Hello and welcome to City Beat. I'm your host Greg from the Lewiston City Library. Joining me today is Darlene Burke from the Lewiston Transit Office. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Excellent. And it's so happy to have you on the show again. It's always a pleasure. So what's new in transit right now?
We have quite a few things that are new. The biggest thing is we were able to procure and get 2 new fixed route buses en route. And people in the community may have seen them already. They're 30-foot gray, very gray buses. They're very, they come with an air ride system, so they're a lot more comfortable than the older buses that have many miles, have had many miles put on them. And they also come with 3 wheelchair positions where the old buses only had 2. So that's more convenient for riders that maybe have mobility.
Oh, absolutely. And so you mentioned you got some new buses. They're gray. And why gray?
The reason we went with a different color mostly is most riders know that along the route you can flag the bus down. And sometimes our dial-a-ride bus would go by. All of our buses were white, and the dial-a-ride bus would go by, and we'd get calls in the office saying, "Your bus passed me by," and now we can say, "Was it a big gray bus?" and know that that's what they need to look for. And they also have destination signs on the front and the side designating the east and west routes. They need to be looking for that too.
Well, that sounds really handy and a really nice addition. And it sounded like, you know, the old buses, they got their workout.
Yes, and we still have them as backup just in case. But yes, no, it's quite a change. They're 30-foot long. There's more leg room in them because they're longer than the older buses, but the seating capacity is pretty much the same. So.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
And so, for viewers who don't know or aren't familiar with the buses, you mentioned the wheelchair accessibility. What about someone with a bicycle? Is that a possibility on the new buses?
Yes. All of our buses, the fixed route buses, have bike racks on them. They are 2-position, and they're first come, first serve. So. And it's important if you're the first one putting the bike rack down that you put your bike closest to the bus so that if somebody else comes along, they don't have to move their bike over yours.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it is the rider's responsibility to put the bike rack down and up. So.
Well, and for me, that sounds great because I don't mind coming down the hill, but riding back up, not so much fun. Not so much fun. So are there any changes to the routes happening right now?
We have done some slight changes to the routes. Every now and then we look at the routes to see where, you know, we might change, make things better. It may come from a rider suggestion. On the east route, when it leaves the community center and goes to East Main, we were turning where the old OUI, or now All West, is at. Instead, we're continuing on and going up 4th Ave that turns into 29th Street, and then turning on 11th Avenue. And that gives us an opportunity to drop passengers on the east side of Thane, whereas before we had not. And the east stop has moved to the laundromat right past Larry's Deli. So if you need to catch the bus there, that's on East Main.
Oh, and you can grab a sandwich on the way.
Yes. And then just slight changes on the west route. I have to drive it in my head. When we come up 9th Street, going to the hospital, we're going up to 7th Avenue to the stop, the 4-way stop, rather than turning on 6th Avenue, and then going on down to St. Joe's. And then when it leaves, on 18th Avenue, after it leaves Valley Medical Center, we're turning up 14th Street rather than 16th Street, and then on to 19th Avenue and going to the mall. So they're just very slight changes that shouldn't affect too many people. And we've posted that on the bus and had handouts for those who do maybe use it where we're not going anymore.
Oh, yeah. And just so folks know who maybe haven't experienced the transit system yet, how often do the buses hit each stop typically?
Typically, it's still an hour, although we have 2 different half-hour loops, and they do intersect more, so there's more opportunity for transferring along the route, not necessarily just at the community center or the mall. So typically, it's every hour.
That's good. That's good to know. And how much does it cost to ride the bus?
It costs $1. There are tokens available. They're $1 also. You can purchase those at the community center, at the Parks and Recreation, or at our offices at 215 D Street on the 2nd floor. There are monthly passes available for the fixed route, and they're $30 to ride all month, as much as you want, and they're good on services, our service, the Clarkston service, and also getting out to North Lewiston. We have 4 stops that the Appaloosa hits for us.
Oh,
so
wow.
they can get out to North Lewiston also.
That sounds great. Now, with that, we mentioned how much it costs for an average person like you or me. But let's talk about kids. It's just around the summer. What goes on in the summer for kids in our community?
Well, again, this year, Lewiston Transit and the PTBA are running the Kids Freedom Pass, and that's for kids 17 years or younger can ride the bus for free. They can get on and go anywhere they want. The PTBA, they go to the Aquatic Center. We go right past the new library. The stop there is at the Moose Sculpture. We call that the Moose Stop now, even though it's not on the map. It's frequently used. So the new library, the mall, really anywhere they want to go. They can just go and get on. The Boys and Girls Club is very popular during the summer also, very frequently.
And with the children being able to ride for free, 17 and under, are there anything that parents should know about how young do you allow riders without an adult? Or encourage? We
did look at that and wondered, should we put a restriction on an age as to when children should ride alone? And we're leaving it really up to the parents to make that decision on whether they feel that it's appropriate for their kids to ride by themselves. The parents are welcome to get on, ride along, see what it's like. Even if they want to I'd give free tokens to parents if they'd like, so they can get on.
Yeah, and how long does it take? I mean, it's something I've been interested in. I haven't done it yet. I apologize. It's on my bucket list. But I just want to ride the whole loop. How long does it take? If you say you hop on a stop, you just want to see where the bus is going and kind of see the sights. How long would a loop take?
Well, the 2 routes are an hour long, so it would take you 2 hours to do both loops. But you could do it.
Well, it sounds like fun. It is on my list of things to do. Well, Darlene, is there anything else happening in transit you'd like to talk about today?
No, we're just, it's been a long time coming for the new buses, and we're really excited that they're finally here.
I have to say, I saw one yesterday. They look great. I'm looking forward to riding on them.
Yes.
Well, as always, it's a pleasure having you on the show. And on behalf of our guest, Darlene, myself, and everyone else here, we hope you have a fantastic day, and we'll see you next time on City Beat.